Whittier Field on the campus of Bowdoin College in Brunswick, site of the 1989 Class A state championship. It'll be Marshwood and Skowhegan set to go at it for the state game. Frank Saris and Jimmy Young set to call the action. Let's throw it up to them.
Okay, Tom, somebody will convert a first here today. Marshwood's first in Class A or the Pine Tree Conference in Class A. Skowhegan won the toss. They're set to go.
And Marshwood, of course, looking for a sweep of state titles. They've won one in D, C, B, and now they go for the A. Skowhegan hasn't won a state title since 1978. It's going to be a great football game, Frank. Let's take a look.
Yep. Opening kickoff coming up. Skowhegan won the toss. They've elected to receive.
Live from Whittier Field on the campus of Bowdoin College in Brunswick, today's Class A state championship game featuring the Marshwood Hawks versus the Skowhegan Indians is being brought to you by your local True Value hardware stores. Tri-State Lottery, just imagine. Seltzer and Ride Home of Auburn, Portland, Augusta, and Biddeford, your local Pepsi-Cola bottler. And by Tri-Sports. Come ride with us.
Will kick it off for Marshwood. One of the up people will field it and just dive on it at the 29-yard line.
Well, now we'll get to see the Skowhegan offense at work here, and they come in pretty highly touted in the Pine Tree Conference. They average about 25 points a game. Here's a look at the offensive backfield. Chris Jarvis, the quarterback, Toth, McEwen, Cates, Shields, and Michaud. Cates is their big play man. 4.640 speed. Offensive line, they're big. Lowell, Washburn, Keister, Lemieux, and Keithen, and they average about 6 feet, 200 pounds across the front, and they're looking at a monster line of Marshwood.
All right, they'll go from their own 29-yard line. First play from scrimmage in this state championship ball game. Jarvis is the quarterback. They run it from the I formation, and coming straight ahead is his tailback. That's McEwen, Doug McEwen. He gets about a yard, and it's a tough one as he's nailed right there at the 30-yard line.
When we talked to both coaches this week, Frank, they said the line of scrimmage would be the key to this ball game. No one has really been able to run that effectively against Marshwood all year. On the other hand, take a look at the Marshwood defensive line. Casey Powers, Justin Rosberg, Mike Adamance, and Chad Sylvester. Those are all big guys. And the linebacks and the secondary led by Steve Knight and Abel Schultz. That very talented pair of running backs also play linebacker.
They run that defense out of the 4-4 most of the time. We got a second down play with a pair of wide receivers split wide to the far side of the field. And Jarvis wants to throw and throws out to the 35-yard line, and nailed right there and then is Steve Cates.
Well, that was Steve Knight on the hit. I believe the linebacker came out to cover Steve Cates. Like we said in the opening remarks, Cates has 4.6 speed in the 40-yard dash. He's got a very quick set of hands. That's how head coach Paul Lynch described him. Lynch in his second year as head coach at Skowhegan. He spent 19 years as the defensive coordinator at Lowell High School in Massachusetts.
All right, Jarvis, who throws the football well, threw it at 63% on the season, now faced with a 3rd and 3, and they come with the 3 wide receivers to the near side of the field. 3rd down from their own 35-yard line. He wants to throw again. He's being rushed. He gets away from the rush. He's going to run with it. He's got the first down and more. Finally knocked out of bounds, out across the 40, close to the 44-yard line.
Well, Chris Jarvis showing good athletic ability and a good read. He looked downfield, found, we'll take a look at it again, found he had absolutely no one open to throw to. Here comes the rush. Abel Schultz on the blitz, and also Chad Sylvester was there. He escapes it and then sees nothing but open field in front of him. He picks up the first down. Good play by Chris Jarvis, and Skowhegan picks up their first down of this game.
So the Indians with a first down on their own 43-yard line. This time, receivers split both far and near side of the field, and they're going to go with Doug McEwen. McEwen with a little running room. Fights his way across the 45-yard line and then is pushed back.
McEwen, the leading rusher on this Skowhegan team, over 1,000 yards rushing on the year, a 5.9 average. Interesting thing about Doug McEwen, he did not play football last year. He missed the entire year with a knee injury. Here's a look at the game conditions. Not a bad deal. 42 degrees, mostly cloudy, a very slight wind from the southwest, and field looks pretty good, and the forecast is breezy and flurries, but the sun is out now, Frank, so we know how reliable those forecasts are.
Skowhegan won the toss. They elected to receive, as we said, and Marshwood elected to put the wind at their back, make Skowhegan operate into it. Second down play coming up here on the counter, loose football, and let's see who got it. Marshwood has it.
Casey Powers comes up with the football for Marshwood. The first turnover of this game goes the way of the Marshwood Hawks. Talking to Paul Lynch this week, Frank, he said turnovers will play a key in this game. The team that turns the ball over the least will win this game. We'll take a look at it again.
Yeah, they try to run the counter, and you'll see the ball pop loose. Watch number 87, K.C. Powers. There you see the ball on the ground.
Powers spots it right about there and dives into the pack.
All right, Marshwood ends inside, go in a wing formation. Wing near side of the field, straight ahead. Their fullback, Abel Schultz, trying to fight his way for yardage, and he's driven back. He picked up yardage to about the 44 and then was driven back. A gain of almost 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I'll tell you that take a look at the offensive backfield. Jeff Gordon, the quarterback, Abel Schultz, Steve Knight, the running backs, Corey Caron in the wing back, split end, Jeff Caven, K.C. Powers. Of course, they run behind a monster offensive line.
Marshwood in Skowhegan territory at the 44-yard line. Again, a wing formation. This is Knight. He's got running room. Cuts it to the outside. He's to the 35, the 30. He's down the sidelines. One man to beat. Touchdown! We'll get another look at it. There you see Knight fight his way. A lot of room there. Now watch him cut it.
Corey Carrigan made the block that sprung Knight to the outside. This is the Steve Knight that we heard so much about, folks. He just kind of glides through a hole, and he sees nothing but goal line in front of him. And, folks, he now has his record broken for the single-season rushing yardage in one season. It belongs to Steve Knight. He just broke his own record with that 44-yard touchdown run.
44-yard run by Knight. McClafferty attempting the point after the kick is up, and it is no good. So we'll take a timeout as they come back upfield. The score, Marshwood 6, Skowhegan nothing.
Things you can count on for about $1. A day-old frosted donut, about 1,400 calories. A large box of chocolate-covered raisins, about 1,700 calories. A package of double fudge Super Supremes, about 3,500 calories. A vacuum-packed freeze-dried sausage bomb, loaded, about 2,800 calories. A 36-ounce kiwi slushie, about 1,700 calories. A single Tri-State Megabucks ticket worth up to $1 million or more. Now, what would you rather count, calories or dollars? Tri-State Megabucks. Play this week and just imagine.
All right, a 6-0 lead for Marshwood as Knight goes 44 yards on their second play from scrimmage. Point after try was no good. And now Adamits will kick it away to Skowhegan again. They want Cates to get the football, but again, it's a short kick. Fielded that around the 24-yard line. This is Dale Humphrey bouncing his way out across the 30 to the 35-yard line.
Well, Skowhegan was able to pick up a first down on their first offensive possession of this game on a scramble by Chris Jarvis, but they coughed up the football, and that, of course, set up Steve Knight's 44-yard touchdown run.
And they'll take over good field position for the Indians on their own 35-yard line. Jarvis runs the club at quarterback. You'll see all kinds of formations. They'll go from a pro set. They'll go from an I, the offset I. They go from a slot formation this time with a single setback, as they like to throw the football, but they can run with the football. We'll be showing you some stats later on. And here comes McEwen, and he can run with the football as he tries to cut it to the outside after a gain of about 4. He's pulled down at about the 39-yard line.
Abel Schultz and Steve Knight combined on the tackle that time, and those two guys are so effective at the linebacker slot because of their quickness and their speed. They hit you hard, plus they're quick, and that, of course, makes them effective players on both sides of the line for Marshwood.
Well, he spotted closer to the 38-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7. Indians trailing 6-0. Now we'll go with the slot to the far side of the field. Single setback. That's McEwen. Quarterback is Chris Jarvis on a 2nd down play. Jarvis to McEwen. McEwen looking for running room, trying to turn the corner, and he does. He's to the 45 and out of bounds, close to midfield in front of the Marshwood bench.
And he picks up a first down on that run. A run of 10 yards plus. I think it was around 12 yards. We'll take a look at it again. Watch him block K.C. Powers right there. That was Bob Lemieux on the block, and that was able to spring McEwen outside for the big gain. Then it was just a foot race with Chris Glidden. McEwen beat him to that far sideline, picks up the first down. Their second first down here in the first quarter.
Well, that time Glidden, of course, got caught up as he looked for the play to go to the inside, and he got beat to the outside a little bit by McEwen, who was able to turn the corner. So the line of scrimmage to 49. The Indians on their own 49-yard line. First down play, as this time Cates will go in motion. The pitch will go to McEwen. He's caught in his own backfield. For a loss, Chad Sylvester.
Chad Sylvester comes up to make the play, and he's 6'1", 215 pounds, and he's also very quick. Cates just missed his block. He went right by Sylvester that time, and there was Chad to say hello.
So a loss of about 3 on the play. We'll call it 2nd and 13. The line of scrimmage now all the way back to the Skowhegan 46-yard line. 6:37 remaining play, opening period. Marshwood has already struck, if you're just joining us, a 44-yard run by Steve Knight following a fumble recovery. Here we go, the Indians now. In that double wing setup. Kate puts it on his hip, or Jarvis rather, wants to throw. Throws it across the field. It's going to be batted away.
No, there's a flag on the play. Corey Caron came over the top that time. They're going to call pass interference against Marshwood. A little too much aggressiveness shown by the defensive secondary that time by Marshwood. And the flag came on the play. Good time to introduce our officials. The referee is Bob Dumont. Oh, we'll take a look at it again. Jarvis downfield, looking for his man, Cates, and Carrigan made contact before the ball got there.
He definitely
Flag
got
comes out. Good call that time. All right, take a look at the officials. The referee is Bob Dumont. The umpire, Bill Croft. The line judge, Steve Linsky. The linesman, Kelly Wynn. The back judge, Kevin Martin, along with Dave Rancourt. There's Dumont with the signal, and another first down for Skowhegan.
Now, of course, this is marked off from the line of scrimmage, unlike what we see on Sundays in pro ball, but it still will be enough for the first down because the penalty will move it to the Marshwood 39-yard line.
And Skowhegan has moved the ball when they've held on to it in this early going of this football game.
And Cates is the man we said they want to get the football to. They want it in his hands, and boy, did he draw a crowd defensively that time. All right, here come the Indians now with that double wing situation. Split a man to the near side, in motion, and back to throw is Jarvis, throwing to a man that cleared out underneath. It's McEwen. I think he made the catch. He did.
McEwen lost his footing that time, but had good concentration to come up with that catch. And it's only a gain of 2 on the play. Good pressure that time by the Marshwood front 4. That forced Jarvis to kind of hurry his throw a little bit, and there it was underthrown, but still good for a gain of 2 yards.
It's closer to 3 as they spotted at the 36-yard line, so we'll call it 2nd and 7. Keister will lead the club out of the huddle now. Humphrey in there as a running back. McEwen, the single setback as they go from the double wing and put Cates in motion on a 2nd down play from the 36 to pitch to McEwen, looking for some blocking, looking to turn the corner again, and he can just barely as he fights his way out to about the 30-yard line.
Oh, did you see the hit, though? Jason Parent came up from his cornerback slot to put on Steve Cates that time. Jason Parent, we talked about him last week against Biddeford. What an outstanding story he is. A kid that moved into the Elliott area after spending a year in Canada. 2 years ago, he was at Marshwood. Really wasn't thought too highly up by the coaching staff, but he's come on. He didn't even start this season as a starter for Marshwood High. Now he's in there, and he's become a major force here in the playoffs.
All right, football at the 31-yard line. They're calling it 3rd and 3 from there. They run from a slot left formation. Single setback is McEwen, and back to throw is Jarvis. Sets up, throws over the middle. It's going to be, I think, almost picked off, then almost completed. It'll go as incomplete.
They had his man down there as Mark Shields had the ball hit him. It was a very catchable ball, actually, Frank. Nice pass by Jarvis, who had to loft it over the defensive secondary of Marshwood back in coverage that time, but he just was not able to hold on to the football.
All right, the line of scrimmage is the 31, the Marshwood 31. It'll be a 4th down, 4th and 3, and they set up in a punting formation, but let's see what happens here. We saw a couple of these faked last week, but they're going to throw it instead, put it up for grabs. Cates is down there. It's going to be incomplete.
And actually,
that's a smart play.
That was a very smart play. Look, the player was going after the ball. It was a smart play by Corey Carrigan, who could have made that catch if he wanted to, and I think he purposely dropped it because he realized if he caught it there,
that's where he'll be nailed.
That's where he would have been down and inside the 5-yard line. Instead, Marshwood gets the ball back at the 31-yard line.
Right. So Marshwood will take over 1st and 10 on their own 31-yard line. Leading in the ball game, 6-0. We have 4:36 remaining to play in this opening period. Jeff Gordon will run the club at quarterback. He's got Knight and Schultz and Kerrigan in that backfield with him. Jeff Cave and K.C. Powers are the ends. Kerrigan comes to the wings of the near side. The ends remain in tight.
That's better than any punt.
First down play, Gordon wants to throw. He has time. He's throwing long. Sideline throw intended for Powers, but he's well covered, and the ball is overthrown.
I would say so. Casey Powers was the only purple shirt back there, and there were 5 Skowhegan players back in coverage that time. Quadruple coverage on Casey Powers that time. Marshwood will throw the ball. They got to this state championship game with that powerful front offensive line that they have that averages over 6'1", about 215-odd pounds. But they can't throw the football, and when they do, they usually throw for a long gain.
Again, ends in tight. Wing formation, wing near side. On the counter, the reverse they give to Carrigan. Carrigan hops his way through for maybe a couple of yards to the 33-yard line, but that's all as the Indians dig in defensively. A gain of a couple. Now they'll spot it closer to the 32. A gain of a yard. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Well, that counter play was run so effectively last week by Coach Rod Watton's Marshwood Hawk team against Biddeford. That time, Skowhegan did a good job of snuffing it out.
All right, here's a 3rd and 9 situation now for the Marshwood Hawks. And the pitch this time will come to Knight. Knight looking for blocking, trying to turn the corner. Not much there. And a flag is down on the play.
And I think I think there's some offensive holding in there. It's in that area, Frank, usually just as the play develops, and that flag goes into the line.
A gain of 2 would bring it out to the 34, but there's a flag down. The indication is holding against Marshwood. It'll be declined, and they'll force the Hawks into a punting situation.
There's Coach Rod Watton. What a great career he's had at Marshwood High School. The only head football coach at Elliott's Marshwood High School. 15 state titles, 6 here in the 80s, 95-5 in the decade of the 80s, and of course he's going for his first Class A title this afternoon against Skowhegan.
And of course he's got a leg up with a 6-0 lead as McEwen and Cates now will drop back in double safety for the Indians. Steve Knight will do the punting for Marshwood. The line of scrimmage is their own 33-yard line. Clock shows us about 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in this opening period. High snap, but he has time to get it away, and it's a high kick. It'll be a short kick, and it'll be allowed to bound at around the 40-yard line and roll inside the 35 to about the 34-yard line. Let's take a timeout with the score. Marshwood 6 and Skowhegan nothing.
Come ride with Tri-Sports. We'll show you the state of Maine.
Winter's coming on, and Tri-Sports Topsom makes it easy for you to own the first name in snowmobiles, Skidoo. It's easy with no money down, and even easier with no payments for 90 days. Plus, you could receive $200 in free accessories. You better get on over to Tri-Sports Topsom now and see the new Skidoo.
Ride with Tri-Sports. We'll show you the state of Maine.
All right, the Indians with a first down from their own 34-yard line. The pitch to McEwen. McEwen trying to swing it to the far side of the field. Gets it across the 35-yard line.
Here's another look at it. McEwen the pitch, trying to follow his blockers in front of him. I think he kind of overran his blocking that time. Good job by the Marshwood defense to string him out, and finally Steve Knight knocks him out of bounds on the far sideline.
So they're going to mark it at the 36-yard line. A gain of 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7. Still a little better than 3 minutes remaining here in this opening period. The Indians trailing it by a score of 6-0. If you're just joining us, Steve Knight on the second play from scrimmage for Marshwood went 44 yards for the touchdown. Point after try was no good, as this time they come with a slot left formation. Second down play from their own 36-yard line. And coming straight ahead is the fullback. This is Humphreys. He found an opening and bangs his way out across the 40 to about the 44.
Big hole opened up that time by Skip Washburn and Brett Lowell on the left side of that line, and he just ran through. We'll take a look at it again. You'll be able to see that hole right there open up. And here comes Humphrey on the carry.
They stopped him just short of the first down. He's actually about, well, we'll call it a half a yard away. Third coming up for Skowhegan. Football on their own 43-yard line. They've got to get it to the 44. Actually, less than a yard. So another key play here in the early going. Single setback is Doug McEwen, and coming straight ahead is the fullback, Toth it was, and he gets out across the 45 to the 47-yard line and a first down.
Good acceleration that time off the line by Chris Toth, the 5'10", 175-pound senior co-captain for Skowhegan. He's got 6 touchdowns on the year, and he showed good acceleration.
First down play now for the Indians from the 47-yard line. They trail in this one 6-0. They've been able to move the football, though, Jimmy.
Well, they have. They've picked up a whole bunch of first downs here. McEwen 6 rushes for 20 yards.
All right, that double wing setup now. They split a man to the near side. The pitch on the flea flicker. It's back to Jarvis, and he's going to be caught back there. No, he shakes free. Still on his feet to the 45, to midfield, to the 45 and out of bounds. What a great individual effort by Chris Jarvis.
I think that was Steve Cates on the pitch that time. Chris Cates was going to throw the ball, and he did a great job of escaping the coverage because 3 Marshwood players had him back there. We'll take a look at it again. The
pitch goes to Cates, and now Cates, watch, he's caught right here.
Fred Constine there. Chad Sylvester had a hand on him, and then Cates just cut it upfield. Made a good move on Abel Schultz right there, and Cates